Welcome, everybody, to our Strengths Conversations. I'm Jane Liebecker, coming to you from Seattle, Washington, and I am an Eddie Villa certified coach and love to use that Gallup-Clifton Strengths Assessment as one of the tools in my coaching business.
Yes, my name is Manetta Fields. I too am an Eddie Villa certified coach joining you from Laurel, Maryland. The Gallup Strengths Tool Assessment is an amazing tool that I use in my business as well.
Our special guest today is Kathy Keene. Kathy, where are you today?
I am in the mountains of New Mexico, outside of Albuquerque and Santa Fe.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about your consistency strength today. But before we get that specific, we'd love for you to share what your dominant domains are.
Okay. My dominant domains are, I have executing. I have 5 of them. And the next one is I have 2 relationship building, except for I have a relator at number 5. So to me, that is 3.
Okay.
That drives me. Yeah. So, yeah. And so I have 2 influencing, and I am always into that too. So it just happens. It flows that way.
Awesome. Do you mind sharing your proclamation using your domains? You love
Sure.
to do everything in a way?
Yes. I love to do everything in a way that honors my desire and values, to make sure everything gets done in the right way, to connect with the right people, and to move myself and others forward to a place of hope, health, and wellness. That's the whole thing.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So how did you learn about strengths?
Well, this one afternoon, I don't get on Facebook that much. And I just happened to be on to try and go to my leader's, doTERRA leader, find out some information. And she put this thing up and invited us to go listen to Eddie Villa. And she said, he's got a fantastic, he knows so much. You really need to check this out. So I went in, and that was it. I was blown away. He was doing a strengths assessment on somebody, and it's like, how could he even know that?
Right.
And I've been working with I've done doTERRA. I've been doing doTERRA for quite a while, and I have these blocks where I've not been able to move up. And I really think the answer is here. He will probably help me figure out what my blocks are. And I decided to join his community. And this was his first time that he came out and was starting this. And so I hopped right on. So that's how I started.
Awesome. And how'd that feel when you learn about your strengths?
It was, how do you say? I've always been one to compare myself to other people and either come out judgy or condemning. Judging, condemning, or condemning myself for not being as good and striving to be. And it was like a vicious cycle. I was set completely free from that. I was like, what's the point?
Yes.
Because all of our strengths, that lineup that we have, is given to us by God in that order for a reason. And I was like, okay, I'm convinced.
Okay. Where is consistency in your top 10, Kathy?
It's number
7. Oh, right.
Yes.
So for those who may not be aware, we're going to give the Gallup explanation of what consistency is. And so it states people strong in the consistency theme are keenly aware of the need to treat people the same. They try to treat everyone in the world with consistency by setting up clear rules and adhering to them. So what's your take on that?
That's how I roll. And it's not just everybody in the world, it's myself. And consistency is so vital in anything of worth that we do. Because if we're not consistent, then like, for example, when I got into the community, I'd go to the classes and everything for a while, but then I'd drop out because I was trying to do my doTERRA business. I was overwhelmed and I kept going back, forth. And so I was not consistent. And then, would you like to become a coach? And I was like, yes, I need to master this because I know the answers here. And then I became very consistent. And that's where I started really seeing a change.
I love it.
Well, if consistency is your number 7 strength, what are your number 1 and your number 5 strengths?
My number 1 is belief. It's belief.
And number 5 is relator.
Correct.
And we know that the number 5 strength is a very important strength in your chart.
Yes, for sure.
I know, right? Well, I think you've already given us an example, a beautiful example of consistency. So Jane, I think you're up with the.
So Kathy, how do you think your belief and your relator strengths dance with your consistency strength or interact with them? How do they influence it?
Well, my belief number 1 and my responsibility number 2, they move together. And so I think that I love people. I am a people person, but I don't like crowds. It's overwhelming because I feel like I need to do one-on-one on everybody because that's who I am. And but my relator dictates to me that I need to I have to have people involved in everything I do, even putting down a Christmas tree. That's my Flo, if she hears this, she'll remember that. She'll realize how because I couldn't put it down. I just it was too overwhelming. But then she says, "We'll make it a party," and it's like, I got 5 grandkids. Oh, yeah, that's what I did, and I've done that for several years now, thanks to Flo.
So, what do you like about consistency?
It gives me peace to know. I use it in everything. I homeschooled for 25 years, and it was because of my consistency, and not only in doing it, but helping them to understand that we have these rules, and these rules will never change. And it was a huge help in lasting 25 years, let's put it that way. And it was the best time of my life. And we had order, and yeah, it was great.
Beautiful.
So Kathy, what would you say to somebody who's sitting on the fence about taking the Gallup-Clifton Strengths Assessment?
It'll change your life totally. Totally.
Yes, it does.
Yes, in relationships and just how you see things. And I mean, it's phenomenal. It's we've been married, my husband and I have been married for 48 years.
Wow.
And since we both took the test, we finally have a good working relationship and communicating. And where before it was like we are very high in responsibility, where you take psychological ownership of something. So that was the battleground, but now we understand, and we have so much more peace now than we've ever had.
That's a good testimonial.
Yes,
Taking
and
those
to hear how consistent you are with peace. Peace just kind of flows through, and that's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much for sharing, Kathy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your consistency strength with us, and I'm sure it's going to help a lot of people understand it a little bit more. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're welcome.